Hey guys, what's up? Alright, so it's a rainy day for me. It is. What I was gonna make a video on is, I did a bunch of research yesterday when it was raining all morning, and it was, you know, about replacing this. If you're curious how many hours this LA120 has on it, it has 677.5, it's 5 or 6, point 6 or something. And it's not new at all. It doesn't have it where the hour meter is on. The hour meter has the hours there. It stays on or whatever. I think a lot of them do, or you flip the key and it comes on. I think that worked at one time. I think it did at one time, but now that quit. The hour meter still works, but I don't think it comes on when you turn the key. But when you run it and start it, but I don't really know much about it. But anyways, let's get into this. The lawnmower I'm looking to replace this LA120 is, I did a bunch of research, like I said, yesterday, and I'm probably going to be replacing this with either the X300, or I mean, not the X300, the X300 series, like the X330. See if they have one of those. I definitely want to look into getting one of those, but I might go into the S240. That seems to be the best fit for me. A lot of their mowers are 18 to 18 and a half horse, and they're Kawasaki's, so they got a lot of power. They're pretty good. Those are really good engines. Sometimes they have their ups and downs, but they're pretty good. I have not had a bit of bad luck with this Briggs & Stratton 724cc 21 horsepower V-twin here. This has been a great engine. And tough torque transmission, it just keeps on going. And the John Deere dealership, 2 years ago when I sent in the shop, and I spent about what was it, $400 or $500 getting the fuel line replaced and having some other bells and whistles, and having them look over the whole thing. And he said, oh, you gotta be sure you pull that 10P, behind me. And he said that transmission ain't probably gonna last too long. And I think last year at that time, or the year before, I think it was, I think it had 540 hours or 520 hours on it, and now it's got 677. And I haven't really noticed anything slowing down. Yeah, it's starting to mist again. But anyway, so this machine has been great. It's by no mean this is no mean a commercial machine, but the engine, it'll keep going, and the transmission, the Tough Torque brand of transmission, that's really good. And the S240 has a 18.5 K600V or something. And I remember the digits of the Kawasaki, but it's like 600V or something. It's 18.5 horse. It's got electric PTO. The deck is definitely redesigned. Very easy to grease. Oh my gosh. Because guys, I have a hard time greasing these spindles here. One of them's really easy, and the other one, the grease fitting is on the other side, and it faces inward here. So it's like facing the inside of the mower, so it's really hard to get a grease gun, or get a grease gun even to attach to it and not have grease going everywhere. But that definitely is updated. This is a T40, and that's a K46D. So that's what John Deere apparently is running in most of their exclusive series of riding mowers. Guys, I'm not gonna mess with the E and D series. Those are no bueno, no good. I think at John Deere, they do, not the ones they sell to the box stores, but I think they put a metal shell on the transmission. The engines aren't all that good, so I don't want to deal with that. So probably I'm gonna be going into the exclusive series. You know, we've been up to our dealership in Taylor, Texas, several times, and we have one by the Ranchers in Giddings, and they're both very good, but they're separate branches, and they are run by different people, but they're all good. Um, but you know, we went up there and we were looking at the riders, and you know, they can get you an S240. I mean, they can, but the ones on the lot, I think they do have some of the exclusive series, but it might be in their in the back or something. And there's one of their showrooms or something, but no, I'm sorry, they don't really have a showroom of those, but they kind of have them out in the lot. I haven't really paid attention when we go up there, but I know that they've got a lot of D series and stuff, but you can definitely get that ordered, and I don't know, I may have to buy from there or from there, and then we'll have them when that time comes. I really don't know when that time will come. Gonna just keep on going. Just keep on going with this one until it can't anymore or we get big issues. We've already had a few little issues. The major things we've had to do, I think, was, well, we've had belts. That's normal. And spindles replaced. That's normal. And I think a bearing or two. And blades. But that's all normal maintenance. I think the biggest stuff we've had done to this machine itself, was the valves. And oh yeah, there is the other story. So it was a heck of a day. It did not turn out right at all. That was also the year of 2018 or 2019, I think. I think it was 2019 in February. You know, came. It had kind of rained on Saturday, and then it kind of quit in the afternoon, I think, if I remember right. And so it was a fall day, and the sun was out, and it was drying things out, which was good. There was a bunch of leaves to pick up at one house I had. So I came out after we got home from church and stuff on Sunday, and I hooked up the bagger. It started up just fine. And now, since this has happened, sometimes I shut the mower off. Sometimes I don't. Because if I know there's weather coming or these yards are tall, sometimes I'll just leave it running. But, yeah, I turned it off, and I went to, then I went to open the gate and do some blowing and stuff. I didn't want to leave it running for a good while like that. I came back, flipped the key, flip it again, What had happened is there's a little, you got your motor, and you got this little spin or whatever up top, and you got this little gear attached to that. You know, the motor has a little pole, and then it turns or whatever. That turns the flywheel over, you know, the starter. I'm going way too much into that. But that gear broke. So what did I do? I called my dad and I said, hey, this is dead. So I pushed it all the way home. And I went and got the old HR 216, and we got that. Got the job done. It took a little while longer, but not too long. But my grandfather went and got me a starter, I think, the next day or two, and we got it going again. But, yeah, man, it is, but yeah, this has been a good machine. There's really been no issues with it. It's always been there, you know, all that. But, anyways, I'm kind of sentimental to this one. The reason why I'm kind of sentimental to this is, I think I was about 4 years old when we got it. I was like in 2000, I don't know how old I was. Probably like 5 or 6 or 7. I don't really know. really how old I was, but it's you know, there's memories from that, and always mowing the yard with my dad on this, and um, it I started the business with it, and I started it, and I'm keeping this. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of that. That's still good. Still good for hauling mulch and, you know, to haul my tools and stuff around the neighborhood, because houses I have are really close to me. Some of them are just a few houses away, but it gets there. This thing gets the job done still. So we're gonna keep on going, and gonna be probably in I don't know. Every time I say 2 or 3 months, but it keeps on going, so that's good. But if something major happens, I'm gonna make the decision there. And if something major quits, if something major goes wrong, then yeah. Or something goes wrong that just, it's like, nah, I'm not gonna spend money on that again. That's what we're gonna call it quits, probably. Otherwise, it works good still. Every so often, it doesn't happen all the time. This is really strange. I'm gonna make another video on this. See if somebody can help me out with this. Anyways, bye.